Hey, Coach Kirk Johnson coming at you with another daily dose of destiny. Welcome, everybody, on behalf of Ann Sieg and Brian Cummings and all the coaches and trainers here at the E-Commerce Business School. Welcome. This is a little edition of the David and Goliath series on the Daily Dose of Destiny. If you want to know more about the E-Commerce Business School and this empowering and mentoring community that's helping people fulfill their destiny, then you can go to www.joinebs.com. More of that in a moment. David and Goliath, Wikipedia says, has taken on a more popular meaning other than the biblical story, denoting an underdog situation, a contest where a smaller, weaker opponent faces a much bigger and stronger adversary. So when you hear the term David and Goliath in the marketplace, it's applied to business, it's applied to sports, all of that. This is the root of the story. It's a biblical Old Testament story about King David of Israel. And when he was a young man, the story exactly of beating Goliath, a mammoth of a man, like 9 feet tall, hundreds of pounds, probably 3 times the size of David, if not more. And so, but David defeated him. When you see, and the reason I picked this picture today, and for, if you will, an exhortation of those that fulfill their destiny like David did, you'll see all the Israeli, not all, but some of the Israeli army, there are literally hundreds of them behind David, allowing this young man, teenager, to go out and face Goliath. What isn't well known is in this story, Goliath would come out every day in the morning and in the evening, and he would shout curses and challenges to the whole Israeli armies. Send a man out to fight me. Come on, send a man out to fight me. And they not only didn't send anybody out to fight him for 40 days, it happened 40 days, day and night, they actually would run in fear away from him. King Saul didn't go fight him, the generals didn't go fight him, the captains didn't. No one would face this guy. And so this massive amount of people, of which David came in then and began to converse with him. We talked about his brothers just saying, who do you think you are to go fight him? Which he ended up doing and killing him. But we'll get to the end of the story some other day. But here was all these people, this mass that David probably had a lot of respect for. And here's a young guy, really impressionable, all these incredible soldiers all around him, including his 3 oldest brothers, and they were running in fear away from Goliath. Not every day, but twice a day. It's really almost a comical scene that David found himself as he entered this camp. His father had actually sent him to send some cheese for the 3 older brothers, and here he experiences all this. So what's the point? The masses, meaning the Israeli army, were afraid. And they, in light of the intimidation of Goliath, were not thinking properly and were running. They were, I guess, the individual soldier in the Israeli army couldn't rise above the collective thinking, the paradigm that was going on amongst the army, the belief that no one can beat Goliath. It ain't going to happen. And they all believed that collectively, and thus they all acted in mass, if you will. See, who you hang around, the crowds that you travel with, the energies and the thoughts will influence you significantly. Obviously, there were far more better qualified soldiers to go fight Goliath than David. Maybe over half the army. Who knows? But the main thing that helped David fulfill his destiny is he didn't go with the crowd. He didn't allow his thinking to be influenced by the masses. He wrote, if you will, in his brain and how he thought and in the intents of his heart on a different level than the entire Israeli army, including the king. And so when you are going to fulfill your destiny, there are times that you're going to have to think differently than the crowd that you're hanging around. It doesn't mean that you don't like them and can't respect them and aren't any family, but you know what? I am going to fulfill my destiny. Everybody else thinks going out and starting my own business and working from home and making money from home and creating far more income than I could in a 9-to-5 and all that. Everybody else says, oh, that's a Goliath. It's not going to happen. You're being ridiculous. And that is probably the collective thought of the masses. But It's not impossible. You're going to have to operate on a different plane to fulfill your destiny. If your destiny is big, now your destiny might not be, I shouldn't say it isn't big and significant, because it is, but you might not have those big dreams and aspirations. You might want to make just a few $100s extra a month to pay a bill, this and that. That's go for that. That's simple, and we respect that. But if you're really wanting to create a destiny that's going to impact your family, your loved ones now, and the generations, then you are going to have to pull away from the crowd and stop thinking of whatever the common thought there is, and say, no, I know this is possible. I've seen a Kurt Johnson work from the Philippines. I've seen Danita retire her husband and live in Italy. I could go on and on and on and on and on. I've seen Brian tootle around the country with his RV. I mean, it's possible for you to think differently, act differently, and create a different destiny and lifestyle for you and your family. So this is Coach Kurt Johnson. We are here at the E-Commerce Business School to help you a day at a time fulfill your destiny. Been talking about the story of David Goliath today because David was one that didn't think like the masses. He looked at Goliath and said, yeah, I can do that. And because he believed in his God, he could do that. So where's your belief system? Belief in what the masses believe, like the Israeli army? Goliath can't be defeated? Or are you going to believe more about yourself and the stories of victory like David did? We'll talk about that another day too. So just be aware of how and where and what masses that can come through. Media can come through social media, it can come through watching television, it can come through news channels that you're attached to, it can come through communities. What is the collective thought going on there? And are you going to let that determine your destiny? Or are you going to let what's in your heart determine your destiny? So this is Coach Kurt. Are you going to make it a great day? Absolutely. Signing off.